Hi, everybody. This is Anthony Burrows for Life and Finances with Sacrifice and Service. I have come to realize that as a nation, for every dollar which enters our borders, approximately 90 cents leaves. If we were to take in the loan payments for the excessive borrowing by governments over the years, then it's more like $1.20 leaving for every dollar coming in. This is an absurd and idiotic practice. The end result will be pain and suffering for all who dwell in these shores. One may ask, why is it as a people that we spend $1.20 while only taking in a dollar? Here's some of the answers. It's the cars, the television sets, the phones, the online entertainment, subscriptions, furniture, food, clothing, medicine that we import on a daily basis, construction of the streets and all of the various. As a result of this money leaving to enrich other shores, others overseas, there's very little on our side to show for it. So my exploration for today is how the financially literate person can save our country. The saving of a nation happens on the individual level, with all of us collectively bringing the major result. To unravel this for you, I will walk through 4 full steps and 2 brief mentions. Step number 1. It is for we, the men of the nation, to begin taking responsibility for everything that belongs to or that's associated with us. The most obvious observation by social scientists is this, that wherever poverty is present, the influence of males are absent. For the Bahamas, the poverty line is a household with an income of less than $5,000 per annum. Wow! Allow that to sink in. Imagine a home in this country where the income is below that level. Now here's the further staggering information. There are more than 40,000 persons in this country living in that situation. In fact, that number represents 13% of our population. In reality, for a family of 4, be it a woman or a man and 3 children, man and woman, or 2 children, to cover transportation, food, housing, and education will require a household income of approximately $35,000 per annum, and 50% of households nationwide fall below that amount. Where men are involved, period, with the nation's children, in particular their own, the children do better in school, are less likely to go to jail, have more self-confidence, is known to perform better on jobs, demonstrate attributes of discipline, and usually will never go to bed hungry. Those financially literate men have an even greater impact on their children, because whether in or out of their house is more likely to become an entrepreneur. Their children, that is. With more financially literate men, there will no longer be large groups of unwanted children in our communities. Children going to bed hungry and barely having any clothing. Less persons going to jail during their productive years. Wow, speaking of jail, presently the prison population is approximately 2,000 persons at a cost of $16,000 per year per inmate. Cost for the maintenance of a single inmate is 3 times the earnings of a poverty level household, which, if you recall, was less than $5,000 per annum. This is where the financially literate man impacts the country even further. He teaches those persons with whom he comes in contact, as well as his children, about the handling of money. Number 2, and this is probably the most important step for the saving of our country, and it is this, that every person in this commonwealth must seek to be the owner of a home or a piece of land. It is in the land where all of earth's treasures are found, of which the first is fresh water, followed by gold, diamonds, aragonite, salt, oil, trees, and where the production of food takes place. The ownership of land is immediate wealth and has the possibility of changing the life of any person or family for hundreds of years to come. Bear in mind that the land that presently the Bahamas is only 5,358 square miles. That's it. God is finished with the production of any more land masses. Understand this. You can create a computer and all sorts of technology, but can never create land. Therefore, it is of paramount importance that each and every Bahamian lays his hands on a piece of our rock as soon as possible. This is where the paying yourself first comes in. It is through saving that you can raise a down payment for a piece of land or a home. Where persons own the land and homes, those communities are first cleaner, have less crime, the children do better in school, and families pass on generational wealth through the ownership of land. So the fight going forward is to seek out ways to acquire your piece of land. And those persons who have had it said to them by family members that there's generational property at such and such a place, I am saying to you, please don't let that gold mine slip away. Do your homework, then follow up on it. Begin right now the search of a lifetime which will change both you and generations to follow. Here's how you have automatic wealth by land ownership. Any financial institution, banks, insurance companies, brokerage houses, or credit unions will accept as collateral the deeds to a piece of land because it is never consumed. For example, it never depreciates and is infinite in regards to its life expectancy. Land ownerships open up vast opportunities to any level imaginable. The thought of starting a well-planned out business becomes very achievable and can lead to a height of financial freedom observed only among the 1%ers of the elite wealthy. Through the ownership of land with applied diligence and brain power, which every Bahamian possesses, you may put thousands of this country's citizens to work. Folks, for the saving of this nation to happen in our lifetime, each and every citizen during their lifetime must own a piece of land. One of these days I shall discuss the doing away of the Immovable Properties Act and its impact on both land and home ownership for Bahamians, but in spite of the erected roadblock by its removal, you must bear in mind that no person or circumstance can keep you from owning your piece of this country. Number 3 for saving our Commonwealth. Buy locally produced goods and services. For our lifetime, we have been taught to expect and believe that if a goods or services is from overseas, then it's better. It is an awful voluntary belief carried by persons in society up to the highest level, which has served to rob us of our ability to obtain wealth and compares to a family after laboring for many years to build their dream home. Upon completion of the structure, they willingly agree for another family to occupy instead of them. In the meantime, they take up residence in one of the shanty towns miles from where they had built their house. This is what it compares to. Every time you purchase a product that's made elsewhere, it's a wealth building act for another country and another people, which leads to the further demise of our own country. This is the behavior of a lunatic nation in a state of depression while suffering from a strong dose of inferiority complex. To break this sick economic practice, we must immediately begin buying and selling locally produced products and services. The more of local goods we buy, the more will be produced. In every business establishment in which you enter to spend your hard-earned dollar, pause. Look around and ask a question. Are there sufficient amount of locally produced products? And is the labor force local? If the establishment doesn't meet the standard, then take your business to one which does. Your single dollar bill comes together with mine and all other citizens to make up the $1 billion spent in our communities each year. Let's not forget that knowledge is power, and the exercise of knowledge leads to the freeing of any individual. So grip your dollar tightly and spend it wisely, for in so doing, our nation can be saved. Always remember, money has power, and through it we can build a nation we desire. Again, I will harp on the vital need for every individual to become financially literate, because financially educated persons have a plan for their resources, which alters lives and destinies. This is how buying locally affects the wealth and strength of our nation, and by it, you can tear down those entities which are feeding on our flesh and bulging with our wealth. The most obvious impact from buying local is the stimulation of our own economy while retaining and creating jobs. Jobs for people who look like you and I. Had we been practicing this the pandemic would have never have the impact. It would have only been a mere health concern. When you buy locally, you stand on a sturdy foundation because it's built from you investing in yourself. Number 4, the final big one is get a college degree. Now, I am one of those persons who normally not the biggest supporter of the educational system as it presently is, because it doesn't teach a lick about financial literacy. However, there are some benefits for an individual as well as the nation when persons obtain a college/university degree. During your time in college, you will learn life skills for the application of daily living, because one has to balance their study load while usually working either a full or part-time job. Juggling social and family life adds to the mix as well as paying bills, however small they may be at the time. The overarching benefit of getting a college degree are these. In your lifetime, you will earn 56% more than most people who never got a college degree. You'll have a less likelihood that you will ever be unemployed during your desirable working years, which for most of us is between 20 and 70 years of age. Also, to my knowledge now, there has not been a local study regarding level of education and life expectancy, but in other countries where studies have been carried out, it was discovered that college graduates live 9 years longer on average than persons who completed high school. A college degree should improve your verbal and written and communication skill and teaches a person to see the big picture and to think long term. Here's the primary issue I wish for you to grasp. Go to college, but most of all, like buying locally, go to college right here at the University of the Bahamas, because by so doing, you are building up your own country. Allow me to point out something. A person attending a mid-level college abroad to obtain a degree in, say, nursing, teacher's education, business administration, architecture, finance, biology, math, or chemistry will in every instance earn the same salary as the individual who attended college locally. The massive sacrifices that persons make so that they can go abroad for a college education is often a losing proposition due to the mountain of bills they end up accumulating. On average, it costs approximately $200,000 for a 4-year degree abroad. That's tuition, fees, books, housing, air travel, food, etc. While for the same time period and degree, the cost is around $27,000 locally. Imagine as a parent or an individual in college, instead of paying for a son or daughter abroad, have them study at home while you consistently pay off major bills and save towards retirement. The last golden nugget is that the same education can be gotten locally free of charge. An educated individual forms a very strong bond with other educated persons to build a healthy and wealthy nation. My final words regarding steps that you can take to save our nation are: one, if you are in your mid-20s or older and have a meaningful person in your life, then go ahead and get married. And the second of the final words are stop using paper. Now, in these 2 points, marriage leads to stronger society. It's easier to achieve financial freedom when you're married. There's more emotional support. You have a longer life expectancy. And because of two income, you have more financial flexibility. And last part of that is that it's the first institution created by God. Paperless in this instance refers to paper with any type of writing on it, and that's inclusive of money. Becoming a paperless nation will assist the slowing and possibly stomping out of corruption while at the same time saving the nation approximately $50 million a year. Until next time, please subscribe. Leave any comments that you may have. May the God of heaven and his Son, the Christ, bless and prosper you.